Stay alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in a leaning to a verdict of not guilty?
Mr. Naruhodo, it must mean...
It must mean what?
That we are victorious.
I don't think this is as easy as that. We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
Yeah, he's gonna do a summation examination. Whoa! Whoa! If the sight of my eye here, the Wellington offense, pray do forgive the discourtesy. What if I don't forgive the discourtesy? This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's later statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. This means she couldn't have been in there. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Good lord. The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilder's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. Oh! What? Order, order! How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been effected, counsel? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend... Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the under-seat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Oh no, I didn't check! I didn't check it! Sorry? Go ahead, you tell the court now, fella. Oh, this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zieks. Oh no, he's evil! He did it! Oh no. Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? I did not check. How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? I didn't look. I did not look! Sorry, I'm a failure. I didn't look. Why didn't I examine the omnibus more thoroughly? Perhaps I credit you to too much intelligence. It seems, my lord, that this Eastern initiate is as unreliable as wine from the barrel. Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now it would seem the argument is moot, and the truth of the matter is there for yours all to see after all. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. No, I don't think it's a good thing for you, Mr. McGilded. I mean, the police, especially... Yeah, the police specifically wrote into the report that the cubbyhole was not empty, it was full. Why do I feel like something's not right here? I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. That compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The girl's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible. Yeah, why don't we ask Beppo? That money-lending fleecer and the pig bros are lying. Great. I can't believe I was nearly taken in. And the stinking wish are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them. What? Oh no. It's a trick, of course it's a trick.
Quite so, I must concur here. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives slowly at the truth every time.
Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems.
My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate.
Thank you, counsel, but before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please.
Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. She snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, like always. Old waste of time, I got nothing to show for me troubles. What did you want to get? You wanted to pickpocket something? She heard a loud bang. The bang would be the victim dropping to the ground, I guess? But she's just a pickpocket, she wouldn't kill anyone.
Hold it!
So you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run. Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a doorway to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, isn't it? I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. It actually makes sense.
Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants. Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers and 5 pence apiece, making 20, to which the cabman testified, and 1 little scapegrace riding for free.
The red conch of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see? So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right? But your hiding place is a storage compartment, full of equipment for the coach, no?
Oh, she doesn't confirm or deny it.
Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much. Yet according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment is full of such paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat, that's all I can tell ya. Maybe we should question the police officer.
It seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue.
Oops. Nothing to show for your troubles.
Hold it!
A waste of time? Why is that? Well, most nights I'm on my own, and the guard permit at least some all the time.
What? I beg your pardon, did you say God permit?
Ah yeah, well, that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose. The point is any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away? That's it, only that night. This cove was set on me seat from the start, and he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch, I was totally stuck.
You mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin?
Yeah, right, mister?
To be sure, I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on and find a child now, do you?
So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. I'll tell ya. Okay, you can't see a blind thing, it's pitch in there. That's true. You hear this loud bang.
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily? That's right, and then I felt the cushion over me head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes? Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not?
What?
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, if she heard the body fall onto the floor, then the victim was already dead by then.
Well, girl, did you see what happened at the crucial moment?
Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion and had a quick butt just while I had a chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke what had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGilder's account, of course. But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sank back down again, but it was too late by then. I should never have risked looking.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGilder discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place? I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, the bloke had a knife in its guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me. How awful. Both me hands got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilder for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and that. Then I heard something from up above. Someone screamed.
Yes, Mr. First on the full roof deck, one would presume.
Well, I didn't want no one seeing my face, so I didn't look up. And the horses were drawn up smartish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat, I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yes. It's clear that they are still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we would clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right, and I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Hold it!
So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all? Not a judge. Most days I push the cushion up with my head and look out the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle.
I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher? I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other ones, see? So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over my head. And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels so much like being thrown in the clink. Oh? Why are you smirking like that?
Excuse me!
Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps? You seemed to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. It was nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad shut up in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was. Oh, he's manipulating the jurors. So, by their emotions. I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Aye, and I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Oh. Wait, was that bang that she heard a real bang, not just a thud of the victim's body dropping onto the floor? Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? Any unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. There's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes, what should we make of that last statement of hers? Let's say it's important. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. Almost? I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating the last statement, please. What supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right, insulted the judge. Always a good move. I was straining me ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring. And then you hear this loud bang. Why is this important? Why is this important? Oh! I cannot open it anymore? Damn, okay. That sucks. Not really sure why this is important, but can I press on this?
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself? No exactly, no. Wait, what? Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have the butchers to see what was what. But then, when I saw the swell getting on, I got my head down so you didn't notice me.
And Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, right?
Yeah, would you Adam and Eve it, hey? What a mug! So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, you see? But would he not likely? Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open, so I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs to market. Snoring like an old dog he was. What? She says the door never opened, but how did Mr. Mason get in then? Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts.
At odds? Are you sure, man?
Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Zieks realized it too.
Counsel, I must insist that you post your claim with evidence or some complicit party's name at the very least.
Yes, my lord.
I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court.
According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded snoring. But think. Oh, 2 slaps again! There's something else she should have heard. Show a person? Very well, my lord, allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. Yeah, Mason, right?
Take that!
Thrice fire to Mason?
Yes, my lord, the sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus.
Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel.
Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, of course it was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilded. That it was, not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And from we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? No, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, wasn't it? Waiting for the swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Oh! We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed.
Lord Van Zieks?
Yes, he knew all too well that there was an inconsistency. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. Is that right? How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? That makes no sense whatsoever.
And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that.
Oh!
She didn't even say anything.
I didn't want to judge dear little Minor just because she has some rather naughty ways, but I must say, I can't abide liars.
And neither can I.
Mr. Foreman,
I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars.
Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Yes, very refreshing.
What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Madden?
This is carnage, it's perfect! Juror number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going! I know, if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilded's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed the critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying?
Counsel?
I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean?
Counsel, I would not tolerate you to attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once.
When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand.
And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage.
If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He was in there already. But how? Clearly, he was in there already from beforehand.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that clearly in your last sentence?
Well said, Lord Van Zieks. The clearly is troubling me also.
No, that's really not the point. The point is that the victim must have been in the carriage from beforehand.
Then answer me this. By beforehand, to what specific point in time are you referring?
Well, clearly,
I shall have to penalize the defense heavily for this irrelevant rambling.
What? I must learn to ramble more relevantly.
The penalty is evidently not heavy enough, judging from those Nipponese eyes, so I ask you again. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain it?
Wait. There's another entrance? He was put there after he died? This doesn't make any sense. None of it might make sense. Wait, let me check. The victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus. There's another entrance. He was put there after he died.
But how without opening the door? There's another entrance then. What entrance? What? Hold on. If there's another entrance, shouldn't we be able to see it or something? The skylight. From below? Impossible. There was no other entrance. What am I talking about? He was put there after he died. But how? How was he put there after he died? Oh wait, no one actually saw him enter the cabin. No. But he must have paid, right? Beppo. Beppo saw him, right? He paid 5 pence. There's another entrance? Nothing makes sense. Unless Beppo was the murderer. Obviously, the victim must have been placed in the carriage after he was killed.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that obviously in your last... Not again! Well said, Lord 160 obviously is troubling me. Wait, what? Okay. How could a cadaver have been placed inside a moving carriage? Well, obviously, damn! Oh my god! Oh no! What? There was another entrance? What is that? What? If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door, the other has only windows. Yeah, besides, if there was another door, she would have heard the door as well, right? Fixed windows which cannot possibly open. In short, there's no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
The skylight? But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening to the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. There's a handle, right? On a skylight. Let's check again. I'm sure he said there was a handle. Oh, there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. So I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin at least. But can it be opened from the outside? Is the question.
Alright, Counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here's the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim enter the cabin?
Yeah, it makes sense. The victim fell, like with a thud, he fell onto the floor. So it could very well be through the skylight. But there were 2 people on top of the cabin. If one of them... Like, surely there will be witnesses. There are witnesses.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight.
I say the skylight?
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words, however.
Objection!
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor.
Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with a dagger.
Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact.
Good gracious!
Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment when the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it. Yeah, and that means he must have been dead when he did that. So when I said he must have been dead already before entering the cabin, that was correct.
Objection!
You are now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but...
Might a humble fella make a wee comment here?
Mr. McGilded?
To be sure now, the 2 fellas who was had on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight, but it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say.
What?
I think perhaps the 2 fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Oh my goodness, surely not. Those 2 chaps on the roof?
You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were?
Ah!
Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer?
You rotter, he said, you rotter! What are you insinuating?
What are you doing?
This is a flaming outrage. I have a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute.
He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I.
Mr. Fairplay,
You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker.
And me, a very angry hatter.
suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. I protest. I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's right. I protest too. About you, you rotten scoundrel.
Order! This is not a time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once.
But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know? My lord, if I may comment.
Go ahead, Lord Van Zieks.
It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You proposed to this court that a victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt? In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify! I thought there was something fishy about that hat, from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. Oh, the jurors agree with me.
We have to see this matter through now, one way or another.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once.
Oh.
What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo? The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy.
Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First?
My lord?
You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense.
Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. He's enjoying himself. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that. If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us knew the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut, and the entire time, I tell you, we couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? Yeah.
I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith.
That's right, you say? We're innocent, I tell you! Pathologically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. What? Eh? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy?
Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. Are we being led away from the truth on purpose? Yeah, one or the other would have noticed. Neither of us know the first thing about the victim. You couldn't possibly have opened it.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time?
I'm going to lose my blood with you in a minute.
He's going to lose his frag with you in a minute.
That's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was on the night. So it is, of course. A fella the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it, still and all. What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand. Now you hold on there a minute. Sir, the size of the thing means nothing.
What thing?
Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we?
I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, I broke wind loudly. I shot myself with it as it happens. What?
This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First.
Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is I tried to open the skylight, you see? But I just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as rouge, I did.
Are you expecting me to sentence you?
Oh no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside the cabin of shame.
Fine.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it can't be opened from above.
Excuse me!
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade? It opens. Huh? The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right?
Please don't.
Oh, them skylights open dead easy.
More easily than you can load that weapon.
That's a lie, I tell you, otherwise, when I broke wind, You can't do it from inside, you mug.
Oh.
Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had persons coming out of me ears.
Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was, I used the skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck?
Bailiff, climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims.
Oh! Ooh. It's a sliding window. Oh, my head! See?